Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei, and you're watching the Morning Forecast Show live every single trading morning, 2 hours before the opening bell, 1 hour before the morning bell show with Martyn. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. What a day yesterday was. We got a pause as expected. We did some successful trades. I'm sure a lot of the Electro and Discord members are very happy right now. We are launching the Portfolio Challenge today. I have told you about copper. That's what we're looking at. And copper's doing well today. So a little bit frustrated. But again, this is a long-term portfolio rather than a day trading portfolio. So it doesn't matter. It just shows that our consensus and thesis was very much correct. What you'll be getting today is the first newsletter with the framework, and what you'll be getting on later this week. On the weekend will be the first deep research report into the first industry, which was going to be precious metals and copper. But copper will look so great, it required its own research piece. So all newsletter members, keep an eye out later today for the framework and later this week for the first move in the £5,000 challenge. Let's get into all the stories today. What are we talking about? Well, we're talking about the Fed. If you didn't see the FOMC report yesterday, we did get a rate pause, pausing. No rate cuts, no rate hikes. Either of those options would have been awful for the market. Some people don't understand that. Some people think we should have got a rate cut and the market would have jumped. Well, if we got a rate cut yesterday, the market would have plummeted. And that's because that's not what's good for the market. That's not what the market expected. It shows something was breaking. Anyway, I am issuing a Fed rates 2026 warning today after we are seeing gold surging $1,000 in 10 days. I mean, that's just unheard of. But also because of what Jerome Powell said, wasn't anything too concerning. However, it has changed what we were expecting for 2026. That is for sure. So I'm going to answer all your questions in a second. Let me just give you the full breakdown. Or should we go to questions first? I think we should go to questions first. Let me welcome everyone into the show. If anyone has any questions at all, let me know. We don't want anyone to be left behind, whether you have a question about Discord or the newsletter or the markets, or you think it's a silly question, ask away. We are a community here. First and foremost, we are a community, a family here on YouTube, where we help each other. We learn from each other. No one is left behind here on this channel. So let me go over to your questions. If you have any questions that you've been wanting to ask, please do ask them now. Let me welcome everyone in. Yolanda was here first. Yolanda, a great support of the channel, one of the most engaged members on all platforms. Thank you, Yolanda, for all your support. Paul D here as well, a great member. Good morning, Sensei and all. Luke is new as a new member. Good afternoon from Belgium. Good afternoon to you. Human being Liz, we love Liz. Human being Liz, hello everyone. Good morning, Yolanda. Rhino Skin is here. Thank you for being a member for over 6 months, Rhino Skin. Paul and Sensei, of course, as well. Rhino Skin says, hi everyone, let's go. Human being Liz says, hi Rhino, where you go? Yolanda says, hello. Yes, David Hensley, he's doing a 1-week course, and as a family, we are wishing him the best and all the best of luck with his 1-week course. I'm driving, so can't talk, but I wanted to say, everybody, what's up? We're thinking about you, David Hensley. Go smash that course. But Patrick Black, how are you doing today? Good morning, everyone. Up $9 on Australian Open this morning. Up $9 on Australian Open this morning. What does that mean? Up $9 on the Australian Open this morning. You've put a tennis racket as if it's a 9. I don't know what you mean, the Patrick Black. Are you talking about tennis or are you talking about the markets? Dan Ackerman is here. Good morning, Sensei. Did you ever get back to me? Why do I recognize your name? Yolanda, is it just because you're here all the time, but you're not a member? Yolanda says, hello, David. Human being Liz says, drive safe to your course. Yes, Joey says, good morning. Joey, the name reminds me of Joby. Joby is down today, an opportunity that Baz is suggesting. Ganja says, Ganja 8, yeah. It says, good morning. Martyn says, Electrum and Discordian's latest trades and wins just posted. Go check that out. Human being Liz says, hello. Rhino Skin says, hi, Liz. Hopefully my stocks. 4 more wins for Martyn. Good. Congratulations to Martyn. Human being Liz says, thanks, Martyn. Welcome, Liz. Human being Liz says, oh, yes, the same this morning. Didn't like the uptrend. Didn't like the uptrend. Henrik says, good afternoon. All human being Liz says, Rhino, which one? Kev Smithy says, morning, Sensei. Can everyone please make sure you have hit the like button? It takes 1 second and it helps a lot. Please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hello, world, says Alex. Human being Liz says hello. Good morning, Henrico. Stevie says good morning, Sensei and family. Hello to you. Henrik is here. Good morning, Liz. Lovely to have Henrik here. Member for over 2 years. Congratulations on your 2-year badge. Poor man to rich man, 1-year badge. Morning, family. Rhino Skin says Liz waiting for Joby to fall more. Always a danger to wait for something to fall more. I understand why. But it's always, when do you buy? Will you FOMO in if it goes back up, Rhino Skin? I'm not telling you don't buy. I'm just asking the questions. Yolanda says, hello, poor man to rich man. Human Big List says, Rhino, yes, I checked if I can buy it here at my brokers, but not yet. Get a few more EVTOL yesterday. Hope for you it gets down. MCX says, hey, sensates. Is that what we're calling ourselves now? Chris says, good morning, all. Mike says, hi. Who Big List says, good morning. Poor man to Richmond says, Mike. Tiddy, I keep getting this wrong. Tidy, I did it again. Tidy, Big Dog, Chainlink, Oracle, any thoughts? Chainlink, Oracle, any thoughts? Chainlink, Oracle, I'm assuming you're saying two separate things then. Chainlink, Oracle. Oh no, you're talking about Chainlink. I like Chainlink, but again, it's not in the top 4 coins. Therefore, I won't be looking at it until every 50% drop. Hi, Liz. And poor man says, Mike, it doesn't matter about utility at this point in the cycle. It's just anything, whether you have utility or not, and you're outside of the top 4 or 5 cryptocurrencies, you're going to get beaten up quite hard. MKB Dard says, where's gold going next, Sensei? You said 5,250, then 5,500. Sensei, the predictor. I mean, I wasn't expected to go up that fast, to be honest. But yeah, we hit the targets again. I would do a little Martyn here. We hit all the targets again. We won again. Yeah, gold. Let's have a quick look at it. I mean, there is no real technical targets anymore on gold. Let's have a look. There will be shorter term targets. For example, if you take a Fibonacci on the 5-minute chart, you can go from this high to this low, and then you can say the next level is 5,670 on gold. Slash, if you take that Fibonacci from there to there, you can looking at 5,700 potentially is the next target on gold. But again, that can happen in a matter of 5 minutes. Yesterday was crazy. As the new candle opened, we went up ridiculous amounts within minutes. I mean, we went up 4% in an hour. I mean, that's billions, if not, that's probably hundreds of billions of dollars in minutes. I mean, that's the market cap of potentially Bitcoin moving in 5-10 minutes. I mean, it's ridiculous what gold's doing right now. Maybe not the market cap of Bitcoin, but certainly the market cap of something like Chainlink or even XRP, to be honest. So, it's ridiculous moves on gold. Actually, when this was happening, it was very interesting. I had a look at all the bullion dealers online, and the bullion dealers. So this was a 4% move in, I don't know, an hour and a half. All the bullion dealers were out of action. Their websites turned off. They went under maintenance. Not even just the biggest bullion dealers in the UK, but also the most official one, the Royal Mint, turned off their website. And even if you go to these bullion dealers now, they don't have any stock for silver or gold. So, I mean, there is obviously a major shortage. It did remind me of back in 2021, when we were at the late stage bull run, when we were having those big moves every other day in 2021 with Bitcoin. And what happened next? Well, Coinbase and other exchanges, they just stopped operating. They went under maintenance. And then a month or so later, we entered a bear market. So giving some sort of crypto vibes, gold is right now. That's crazy to say when you look at gold being the highest market cap asset in the world with $24 trillion worth of market cap. And it's behaving like a meme coin. Tidy Big Dog says hello, everyone. We'll discuss gold in a second as well, because obviously there's major drivers behind it as well. Good morning. Stephen Holland says, good morning. I am a new member, signed up this week as a member. You signed up this week as a member. Congratulations, Stephen Holland. Welcome to the family. You mean on YouTube, I guess. You've got your green badge there. Let me go back to live chat. Brand says, good morning. Vocal Foster says, with higher initial jobless claims today impact the dollar even more in your opinion? Would higher initial jobless claims, will it impact the dollar? Yes, it would. We'll cover that. I should put a timer on the screen, shouldn't I? We do have jobs numbers coming out. Let me put a timer on the screen. Probably should have led with that today, but I want to answer everyone's questions. What time will it be? It'll be at 1:30 UK time. So, in fact, we might. Let me see if I can change a few things so we can cover these jobs numbers. 1 second. I'm just going to see if I can change a few things. I apologize. I was muted for a second. I think we should cover the jobs report. So let me see if I can change this to jobs report in jobs data in. I know a lot of people are interested in this, so we'll have to cover this as well. Oh, that timer is wrong. Let me change that timer. There we go. We'll be covering jobs data in 42 minutes. I think I'll have to change these things over here as well. Jobs data live. More rate cuts. I apologize. I just think it's better to cover the jobs data. Jobs data live, no more rate cuts. I will be telling you about why I think there'll be no more rate cuts, but we'll come on to that in a second. There we go. Good day, all. The day we have been waiting for, says Curtis. The day we've been waiting for. Why is today the day we've been waiting for? Poor man to rich man says U2ZZ. Zach Zate says Liz is walking on the moon. Liz is walking on the moon. Why is Liz walking on the moon? Gold 6.5k by the end of the week. Oof, 6.5k by the end of the week. Let's go back to the gold chart. 6.5k. I mean, that's a bold prediction. It's definitely possible in late stage markets. I mean, gold has been going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days in a row. When was the last time gold went up 8 days in a row? Maybe never. Never to this extent. Gold has been going up 8 days in a row. How much longer can it keep it up? Maybe a couple more days, maybe one more euphoric run towards the upside. It'll be interesting to see if we can look at gold divided by money supply. Gold divided by M2. Yeah, here we go. Let's see what this chart looks like. This is gold in regards to all the money in the system. Because in this chart, I don't think we've hit all-time highs. No, we haven't hit all-time highs, and the target would be over here, first of all. So this is taking into account all the money print. Oh, God, that doesn't look good over there, does it? What's happened there? Sorry, I haven't changed this. What did I do? 1 second. What have I done? Let me go over here. Let me get rid of that. Okay. What's this chart showing you? Well, this is gold taking into account how much money has been printed in the system. So you get a very different chart. We've just about taken out the 2011 highs, but then when you look back to 1983, the first level of resistance on this chart would be another sort of 9% move up for gold. And if we're trying to go back to 1981 at the beginning when this chart would have started, we're looking at potentially another 67% move up on a gold, but I wouldn't hold my breath up for that 67%. I would take into account another 10% move up for gold, however, to get us to that sort of the second to last level of support on the gold divided by money supply chart. So yeah, that would take us to, if we do another 10%, we are looking at 6,000. Maybe 6,000 is the top for gold. I don't like calling a top, and I don't think I'll ever try and call a top for anything. I will just de-risk where I think I should de-risk and where I think there's not much left in it, and I will buy when I think we're at value or where I feel comfortable buying. And around these levels, I'm not too fussed about selling either. I think certainly most people, it's great for them to take profits. Gold, silver, I think they'll have one last run up and then I will be looking to sell. I mean, silver, if it was, I might sell some silver at these levels, to be honest. $120 were at all-time highs. But I think there'll be one more big move up, and then that will be the end of this. And then the whole market, I believe, will crash together, going into potentially a bear market in the middle of 2026 and then a bull market towards the end of 2026. We will see. I'll continue to keep you updated with my analysis. Let me go over here. Okay. If you bear with me, I'm just changing the show to a jobs data because we've got jobs data coming out and it will be important after yesterday's Fed report. So what I will do is, if you bear with me for literally 30 seconds, I will change the title of this video. Jobs. Let me change that over here. There we go. That's all done. Hi guys, how low is silver? Let's go back to your comments. Hi guys, how low is the dollar going to drop? How low is the dollar going to drop? Well, let's go back to the chart. So let's go to DXY. Let's go on to something like the 1 week time frame. I mean, right now we are at the strongest levels of support you'll see, but it does look like we could have a temporary bounce, but it does look like we've entered quite a big downtrend. I mean, the dollar can drop. Again, this is not great for any US consumer, really, but another 7% until its next target of 90. So yeah, the dollar is in quite a downtrend at this moment in time. Go back to, let's have a quick look at XRP. Yeah, XRP is looking weak as we have forecasted. I'm trying to get through everyone's comments. We don't want to leave anyone behind. Well, initially, yeah, we're going to cover initial jobless claims as well in this stream. Sensei, can you call human being Liz just Liz? It will save your breath at slash time. Yeah, I can call her Liz. Sometimes I call her Liz. Sometimes I'll call her human being Liz. Bitcoin's Craig says, "Good day, traders. Traderoos. Play on traders and kangaroos before it gets pronounced wrong again." Traderoos. Henrik says, "Morning, Mike." And Zach. Liz says, "I had the key. I just need to chat less." No, you don't. We love it, Liz. Zach Zate says, "Tony, you have a lovely day." Hello, Zach Zate. Rhino Skin says, "Think Joby will go into the 10s on open." Let's have a look at Joby. Joby is obviously one of the strongest EVTOL companies out there. I'm sure Vaz will be doing a video on the correction we've seen into the 10s. I mean, $11, about $12 is pretty strong support. So it depends. Does it get bought up or does it go to its next level of $10? If I really loved Joby, which I'm not saying I do or don't, I haven't done enough research into it, I pretty much trust Vaz's research, but I want to do my own research. As with anything that we say, even though I trust Vaz, I do my own research because it might not be the same. It might not apply the same to my portfolio. And that should apply to all of you guys. Just because we like a stock doesn't mean you shouldn't do your own research and see if it fits your capacity for loss, attitude to risk, all of those sorts of things. So if I wanted to open a position, I would already be in at $12, and then I'll be buying more at $10. So I wouldn't risk not holding off not to buy in if I really like the company. I would be buying at $12, which we're just slightly below now, and then also I'll buy at $10, then I'll buy at $7, then I'll buy at $4 if we ever get there. Checking in. Good morning, everyone. Has that all updated now? I think so. Yes, that's all updated. Checking in. Morning, everyone. Kazansky, lovely to have you here. Curtis says, good day all. This is the day we've been waiting for. What do you mean this is the day we've been waiting for? Hi, guys. How low's dollar going to drop? Bought Plug Power. Just kidding, I didn't. They are Russian manipulated. Thank you, Mr. J. Key. Silver going faster than gold. See gold to silver ratio been kicking gold's butt since January the 1st, 2020. No, I don't think that's correct. Gold, silver ratio. Yeah, that's very much. I mean, it depends. Where are we? Since January the 1st, 2020. I mean, there was I know what you're talking about, but it's not strictly correct what you've just said. Yes, we had that big drop in March of 2020, and silver outperformed gold. However, we went through 3 solid years of 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024 of gold being stronger than silver. Then we were very bullish on silver, and we said, so we're outperforming, especially when we break this trend, and especially at the values we're at now. We were expected to go a lot lower, but now silver is kicking gold's butt, if you want to phrase it that way, since April of 2025. So yeah, that's when I would say, and I mean, goodness, yeah, gold needs to catch up to silver now. Otherwise, we are approaching levels of 2011. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this chart, actually. Thanks for bringing it up. We haven't looked at it in a while, but yeah, that trend towards the downside shows that the gold-silver ratio is now 46 ounces of silver will get you 1 ounce of gold. Previously, in just April of last year, when we were looking at buying silver rather than gold, it was 100 ounces of silver gets you 1 ounce of gold. So that was definitely the better trade, and that's been in a rather steep downtrend. Mate, what are your thoughts on silver going forwards? Does gold and silver have maybe head down before Bitcoin and XRP can go up? I dug deep in this, and this is how I interpret what I went through. I disagree. My thoughts are Bitcoin. I am leaning, as I have been for the last 7 months with crypto. My thesis on stocks was a bit different because of the AI. My thesis was AI is going to drive the stock market higher and higher, and you always want to be investing in the stock market. And so far, the S&P 500 continues to put in highs. My thesis on crypto was we were in a bear market. I think that was about 6 months ago. We did take some profits at $3.40 with XRP, maybe not as much as we should have done, but I don't care because I'm holding XRP long term, and we did enough trading within that bull market to make money. So essentially, then about a month or so after that high, we looked at it and said, okay, we're more likely in a bear market. So my thesis on crypto is we're going to go down. My thesis on the stock market was very much AI is going to keep propping the stock market higher. Now, what would I be saying going for 2026 if I had to, just from all the research I've been doing? Again, this is subject to being updated as we research it more, but it is very much crypto is going to continue going down. Yes, we might have the random altcoin that goes up. Yes, we might have the random short squeeze. Yes, Bitcoin might jump back to 100,000. But the general trend, I would say, is going to continue towards the downside on crypto. in the stock market, that bullish thesis is probably fading now because of gold and silver. So I would say gold and silver will continue to go up, maybe another 10% on gold, maybe another 50% on silver, but that can happen very quickly. It could happen by the end of February. And then when gold and silver pull back, instead of what everyone's or the mainstream is saying and what AI models might be saying, if you talk to Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever, they will say that gold and silver money will flow into crypto. I don't think that will be the case. I think gold and silver will go down, and the stock market and the crypto market will also go down. That will be caused by either inflation heading higher, by either a blow off top, by wars or whatever that geopolitical situations, carry trade unwinds, all of these bearish things. I think when gold and silver top out, everything else will come down with it. And then we form a bottom, and then the bull market resumes. Gold and silver find a bottom. Why has that happened? Let me go to this. Gold and silver will bottom and find a base after being quite volatile. Everything else would have probably had a capitulation low, and then we move into the end of 2026 with a bull market. So that's my thoughts right now. I don't think just because gold and silver, that money's going to rotate into crypto. I don't think that's how it will play out. But I do think gold and silver have a little bit more parabolic upsides left in them. Human Being Liz says, if you have the sunshine, you have the same sunshine as yesterday. There's some fear in the world at the minute for the amount of folks buying gold and silver. Fear of the market. Yeah, no, look, guys, I completely understand what euphoria is. I've lived through about many euphoric cycles with crypto, with AI, with three crypto cycles, AI cycles. I know what euphoria is, and I love euphoria. Why? Well, because that's the point in the market where you make the most money. The people make the biggest mistakes. The retail, the ones that know nothing, they lose. The ones that think they know a lot, they also lose. Why? Well, because the retail comes in and buys the top and they think they're going to get rich tomorrow, and then they just hold on and they don't sell. The people that think they know a lot, they go, oh, everyone's talking about it now. It's euphoric. I'm going to short it, or I'm going to sell before it goes higher. Both those people lose, because the person who shorts is probably going to get liquidated because it's going to go higher. The person that sells as well, instead of shorting, probably will miss out on the biggest gains. But the retail investor who buys the top will be holding the bag for God knows how many years before they probably capitulate when it goes really low. The point in the cycle, the point in XRP's history, or the point in any market, even the stock market, if you miss the 10 best days of the S&P 500, or you miss the 10 best days in gold in a year, you're basically missing out on 90% of the gains. The point where the RSI is over, some people have a crazy strategy I don't recommend. They look at the RSI and they say, oh, this stock is overbought. That means I'm really clever. It's overbought. Everyone's going to sell it. That's completely wrong. The point when the market is overbought, yes, be aware of it, but it's also the point where most of the money is made, because that's where the euphoria is. That's when the liquidity is flowing in the most. So just because something's overbought, that's actually when the stock makes the most money and you make the most money. Another way people look at it is, I'm looking at my portfolio. One of my stocks is up 100%. One of them's down 30%. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell the one that's up 100% and put it into the one that's down 30%. Terrible strategy. Why? Well, because the one that's up 100%, there's probably a reason it's up 100%. The momentum's with it. It's probably doing well as an asset, and it's probably going to continue going up. The one that's down 30% or 40% or 80%, there's probably a reason it's down 80%. The momentum's not on its side, and it's probably going to continue going down. So again, that's a crazy strategy, but it's all I can understand why people think that way, but please don't think that way. Otherwise, you will end up continuously losing. So when you think there's euphoria in the market, it doesn't mean just sell. It means be aware of it. If you've made enough money, then sell, because you don't want to be part of a volatile market. But it's probably when you're actually going to make the most money. Cameron Griffin says, good luck, everyone. MCX says, appreciate any information. Thank you, sir. No worries. Henrik says, a lot of bubbles are close to bursting. I mean, bubbles is when you make the most money. How do you know when it's going to burst? Henrik says, thanks, Zach. You too. Vocal Foster says, today's Senate AG committee set to vote on crypto market structure bill. Thank you for that. If you have more information, please do send it through. Um, Poor man to rich man thoughts when I first started. I got heavily into meme coins. Now selling slowly. I have a little of these and in the negative on all. Would you suggest to sell all? My continue thoughts. When I first started, I got into now selling slowly. Oh, I don't know what meme coins they are, and I don't give financial advice. So unfortunately, poor man to rich man, I can't really answer your question. But again, you're probably selling because the market's down, which is fair enough. It can continue going down. But if you believed in them in the first place, why did you buy them? Would you not say if you had the conviction in the first place, it's still worth holding or buying more now it's lower? I'm not saying rotate all your profits into it, but I'm saying why are you deciding to sell now? Yes, it can go lower. Yes, it can go higher. But why did you buy it in the first place? That might answer the question. Sean says, you mean you sell paper, not silver? No, I'm talking about physical silver in a safety deposit box. HPM, metals won't dump, leading to metals backed systems again. Poor man to rich man, sell my Pepe. Oh, look, I don't give financial advice. Whatever's best for you. I don't know what your situation is. I'm not selling anything. I'm buying every 50% drop on all those tokens you mentioned. All those? No, I'm not buying Pepe, Doge, XLM. I don't know what bar is. Doge, XLM, and my strategy for look the top four altcoins I just buy at specific levels. And they're probably closer. So that's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. I'll buy at specific levels because I think they will hold up better in a bear market. The other tokens, anything outside of that box, including ADA, XLM, and Doge, I just buy every 50% they go down, waiting for the next bull run. But I don't know your situation. It might be better for you to sell. I mean, I can endure a 90% drop, and that's always likely to happen outside the top four. Human being Liz, good question. Poor man to rich man. I know it's not financial advice. Oh, you already preempted me there. You guys know how careful I am, and I don't want anyone to take it as financial advice. Human being Liz says, "No way. I don't know much about Pepe, but the rest is not sell at this time." Says human being Liz. Tidy Big Dog says, "DCA out, poor man to rich man, then reinvest what's left." I wouldn't even understand that strategy. Vocal Foster, the US Senate just pushed its vote on the market structure bill from 3 p.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you, Vocal Foster. If you've got the information, can you send it through on, if you're a Discord member or a Substack member, or if you're not, if you can send it as a DM on X, that would be great. Poor man to rich man says, morning. Vocal Ninja Cowboy says, good morning. Vocal Foster RPM says, gold has had a sideways fight back, but silver smoked it. Look at the descending angle. No, I know. Yeah, I understand. But I'm just saying gold was outperforming silver for 4 years, 3 years, even since 2020. So that's what I'm saying. Silver is king gold. Good morning, people checking in. Hello, Crypto Genealogy. Helen Dross says, morning. Yolanda says, yes, Liz, sunny, but like cool this morning. Tidy Big Dog says, I feel your frustration, poor man, but turn it into a win. Yes. RPM, silver gold ratio 16 to 1 seems normal, but bet me we'll go to 8 to 1. No. RPM, I'm willing to put a lot of money on the line for that bet, but no, it's not going to go to 8 to 1. Oh, we've got a couple of super chats just popped in. I'll wait. Oh, God, I turned it off because I was on Martyn's show yesterday. I'll have to read them out manually. Let me read them out now. Poor man to rich man says, thank you, Sensei and family. And thank you very much, Poor man to rich man. Really appreciate it. Mork Vet Vlogs, not even a member, but he's given a super chat. Thank you very much. iShares Copper. We're bullish on copper. And I know iShares Copper is up, because we were going to buy it. Copper. I don't even know what the ticker symbol is though. iShares Copper. iShares Copper mining ETF. It's probably not. Do you mean the iShares ETF? Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I'm not too annoyed because it just means our research was correct and we can keep doing this. But here we go. Let me just. Yeah, it's up. It's pre-market. It's up 6%. And we were going to buy it. We started this research a couple weeks ago, so that would have been already up 20%. Who cares? 20%. Yeah, $58. Yeah, I mean, I think the uptrend's going to continue.
Admorg Vevlogs tipped $2 through Super Chat. Ishares Cooper.
Yeah. Like I don't have too much technical analysis. It's just an uptrend, isn't it? And it's a big uptrend. That there isn't. I would say it's going to be volatile. It's going to have big up days, big down days. But I think the trend towards the upside of the next year is going to continue for this ETF. What's the ticker for silver? Depends what you want. Silver itself is just silver, silver US dollars an ounce, but depends how you're buying silver. There's different ETFs. RPM says hyperinflation will make even mud, moon, everything gets more expensive. QE starting again. Human Being Liz says, oh, then stay cozy in your bed. Hope I wrote it right. Vocal Foster says, meme coins most of the time pump before the top 8 and dump before the top 8. If you're not leveraged, I would hold and maybe sell on a small pump to break even or take some profit. Not a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, if you're leveraged, then it's obviously a different question. But if you've bought it and you can afford for it to go to zero, then what's the point of selling if you're already down a significant amount? Why wouldn't you just wait for it to go down 50%, buy some more, and see if it bounces back? But that's only if you've been playing with money you can afford to lose. If you can't afford to lose it, then you have to be prepared for an 80% correction. Kalandros says, do you think it's possible for the government to do a repricing of gold in the future? I wouldn't put too much weight on that argument. I know some people are saying they're going to reprice it and then sell off the US debt. I mean, I wouldn't put any weight on that argument. Poor man to rich man says, tidy, correct, frustrating, and of course I blame myself, but lessons learned here. Now we're starting to win. A win is a win. Exactly. QE through the debt ceiling. USD is toast. Wow, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, that's a long-term issue. I mean, they're going to keep kicking that can down the road. At one point, it's an issue, and that's why we like gold. That's why we like Bitcoin. That's why we like investing in assets rather than just holding cash. Yolanda says, Liz, that's exactly what I'm doing. World Free Speech says, big things are coming for XRP and Bitcoin. Keep an eye on Dynamite blockchain. Never heard of it. Crypto genealogy. If banks will have their own stable coins, will they need ROUSD, which uses XRP? Yeah, because banks will have their own stable coins for their internal transactions. They can't really, no bank to bank will be using their own stable coins. They'll be using something like ROUSD, and then they'll be using XRP for the liquidity. So banks having their own stable coins, in fact, is quite bullish for ROUSD because they'll be more used to using stable coins. They can't use their own stable coins for international transfers or bank to bank transfers. Sufiyan Khan says, when do you reckon on a rough time frame we will hit this bear market? We're in a bear market. We've been in a bear market. I mean, most altcoins have been in a bear market for years, a couple of years now. The top 4 cryptocurrencies are probably in a bear market right now. So when will it hit the bottom? Look, I don't know. Again, I'm not 100% certain. That's why I'm still invested in the market in case I'm wrong. But I would say next 5 months, we might hit a bottom. Yeah, this year, I think by the end of the year, we'll be back in the bull market at some point this year. Poor man to rich man vocal. Yeah, no leverage. Only put in what I can hold. So I can hold for now to see if I can save a few pennies. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, well, the issue will be it's probably going to go, in my opinion, poor man to rich man. These meme coins, they might have sudden bounces up. And if you can take profit, brilliant. And you want to take profit, brilliant. But if they're going to continue to go down, if it goes down 50%, and you buy even a little bit, when it goes up 100%, you'll see the difference. But if it goes down 50% and goes 100%, you're back to where you were today. So I would consider if it's going to go down a lot and they're coins that you believe in, potentially adding even a small amount will make a difference. Sufiyan Khan says, also, why is Martyn so adamant we're about to hit a crash? You will have to ask Martyn. Tidy Big Dog says, and he's live in about 15 minutes after me. And a loss is a win. It's all about how the game stay in How the game stay in the game. Songs for Space says, will this be a double bottom on the Q? Oh, sorry, a double top on the Q. You talking about the QQQ or Q? What's Q? Q is can you just quickly clarify what you mean, Songs for Space? iShares Copper. Sensei, do you buy junior mining silver shares? No, I don't. Well, I'll be releasing my full framework shortly. We're all going to do precious metals and copper together, but now we're doing copper first, coming out this weekend. The framework will be released today. Knocking Star, USAR going up after a drop. Elon said last night they're looking into rare earth. USAR. US rare earth. Yeah, I mean, what an awful few days it's been. Down 28% in 3 days. I mean, that's why you don't buy the hype for US government intervention. I'm not looking at it. I don't like a company that has no profit, that has debt, and it's not forecast to have any. I mean, it doesn't even have sort of income, money coming in really. Its earnings was awful in November of last year. This is only pumped because the US government got involved. Knocking Star, USA are going after. Elon said last night they're looking into rare earth. I think rare earth is obviously a great field to be in, but this company specifically isn't generating. If I'm thinking about the right one, just quickly have a look at its balance sheet. Oh yeah, it's net. Yeah, it has no. Yeah, this is the right company. It has absolutely no revenue. It's just losing money every single quarter. I don't think it's ever made any revenue. Yeah, I mean, it's not something for me. Sensei, do you? Sufurian says, I plan to wait for ETH to hit £1,500 and put half my portfolio in there. Is that a horrid strategy? I know it's not financial, but I know the thing is, it's not just, it's not fine. Look, it's not just, I don't give financial advice. I mean, I can't even understand your portfolio. That's why I don't give financial advice. I don't know what's right for you. I don't know what your strategy is. If I'm talking about myself, would I want half my portfolio in Ethereum? I mean, it's probably better than 90% of people's portfolios, which are in all sorts of crazy small market cap coins. So in that sense, it's probably not bad. And Ethereum is probably going to continue to do well over the next 5 years, 10 years. So in that sense, probably not. But in the sense for myself, well, I'd rather have 50% in XRP and then 20% in Bitcoin and 20% in Ethereum and 10% in Solana and 10% in other altcoins. I think that just added up to 110%. But I don't know what's right for you. It's not just a matter of, am I giving financial advice or not? I just don't even understand your situation. Miles Away says, what about our SPCE? I'm bullish on it. I like for a risk to reward scenario, for a small part of a portfolio, I think SPCE could be very interesting. What's that all about?
At Elliot Aguilar 8853 tipped $4.99 through Super Chat. Biscuits and tea for now. Greetings from FL, USA.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate the support. Biscuits and tea for now. Greetings from Florida, USA. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for the super chat. Sensei, what copper stock would be the one to keep an eye on? I'll be telling you later this week, Yolanda. You're trying to jump the gun. You're trying to get it all out of me. You'll see on the newsletter, Yolanda. You remember me saying 8-1. RPM, if it ever hits 8-1, I'll find you somewhere and you'll win. You'll win the prize. Jamie Reese says, GBP gaining so much strength versus USD hurts the unrealized gain or loss for us in the UK, but does mean we can buy more. Yeah. No, I understand what you mean when you look at the FX rate. Yeah, if the dollar is weakening, it's not good for us either. Songs, for when we buy US assets, they just are worth less. Songs for Space says Oracle and Salesforce keep getting hammered. Thank you. Bounce Back says SBC and Archer. I like them both. Probably, Risk Reward, I prefer SBC. Potato Family Sensei, can you be more involved with Discord? Potato Family, I pop in there every now and then. If you want me to be more involved with you, then just jump in the newsletter, the Substack, where I can answer all your questions there.
Kevin tipped $52 through Super
Let me
Chat.
turn that off.
This is
Martyn is testing a few things in the background. Human Being Liz says he means the ETF. Yes, we had a look. Thanks, Sensei. What's happening today? We're getting jobs data in about 9 minutes. It's not the biggest jobs data report ever, but it is initial jobless claims. So we'll be covering that. Also non-farm rural productivity. They said Microsoft margins are down 25%. Yeah, if you go to today's newsletter, and go to sensei.news, you will see all of this. So Meta Superintelligence bet, massive infrastructure. Oh, so you want Microsoft, right? Microsoft spending spurge. Shares fell after $37.5 billion AI bill squeeze margins despite strong cloud growth. If you want to go to those stories, today's stories were about Brent oil hitting $70. We're on the edge of war. No one wants war. Tesla, great pivot. That's all about the Tesla earnings. So guys, this is literally a 5-minute read and you'll get all of the 3-hour earnings call, and you understand what the main parts are. Meta's earnings yesterday, you can go and look at Superintelligence. You can go and read why gold is going up right now. You've got the whole Microsoft story there, why Microsoft is down, and you can go over to the deep dive, which tells you absolutely everything you need to know from Jerome Powell's speech yesterday, all the key findings, everything you need there, and plus the chart of the day. So go check out that newsletter. Over here, you get you can see the winners and losers as well. Obviously, Meta's doing well, and then Microsoft is down 7%. So go and read it. It's about, if you want to read the whole newsletter, maybe it's 10 minutes. If you want to see the top headlines, it's 30 seconds. If you want to go into the top 5 stories, it's probably a 5-minute read. It's worth checking out. So go and check it out. For now, I'll just give you the link directly to today's newsletter. Some of it's free. Some of it's behind the paywall, but you can certainly read the Microsoft and the stories there. So go and check it out. Just put the link in the description. No, the link is in the description for the 1-week free trial, and I've just put the link of the article into the live chat. I enjoy Sensei's show better. I know you work with Martyn, but he's gone down on his okay. We don't want to talk about that. Human Being Liz, great thought about Crypto Sensei. I've changed my name. It's Sensei. I don't want to be associated with all those weird crypto senseis. Songs for Space, they don't have any gold. There are still plenty of silver available to purchase, but the cost is now unbelievably much higher. Yeah. Oh, I can turn it back. Yeah. Let me just give this to Martyn. Martyn is asking me for something, so let me give this to Martyn. Martyn is going live with the jobs report as well. Most of my holdings red or sideways. I'm extremely diversified. Most of my holdings are red or sideways. I'm extremely diversified. Well, it's a shame that they're red or sideways. If you were adequately diversified, you would at least have some things going up as well. Ganja says, are they going to pass a bill so they won't manipulate crypto? Everything's manipulated. You can't get away from the manipulation. Crypto emergency meeting in the White House Monday. Thank you, more monkey business. When is a clarity hearing? I don't have any information on that right now. Vince says, good morning. What's the outlook for the rest of Q1 regarding crypto? I think we could have a sudden sort of short squeeze, but then essentially moving lower. Which Which company is generating a rare earth? Many companies will probably do a rare earth newsletter as well. Human being lives so many knocking star worldwide. Think the data was released already? No, we're looking at it here. Here's the data. This is where we're coming to in 5 minutes' time. If you have just tuned in, can everyone please make sure you have hit the like button? Please do make sure you have subscribed as well. We're 5 minutes away from the data report. I'm not going to lie and say it's the most important data report unless it is really different to the consensus. But it's not a red impact data report, but this will be the number I'm looking for. Initial jobless claims. Currently, the consensus 205. The higher it is, the higher likelihood we have rate cuts. The lower it is, the more it supports Jerome Powell's sentiment yesterday. His sentiment yesterday was very much, we're not going to cut rates. If that stays around 205 or 180,000 or even 160,000 and above, if it's 300,000, higher is worse, right? 1 second. Initial jobless claims. How many people have? Okay, yeah. Higher is, let me just rephrase that. So initial jobless claims. That is the measure of the people. Yeah, I am right. Okay, so the higher this number is, so 205,000 people are expected to claim unemployment benefits, essentially. So how many people have lost their job? The higher that is, the more likely it is that Jerome Powell will cut rates. The lower this number is, the more likely Jerome Powell's argument stands, and there won't be any rate cuts for the significant future, maybe towards the end of 2026. So if you want to see rate cuts and see liquidity injected in the markets, you want to see this number quite high. If you don't want to see rate cuts and you're shorting the market, then you want to see this number really low. So the number would have to be sort of significantly above that number for it to have any major effect on the market. So we'll keep an eye on it. There is other releases as well, such as non-farm productivity, unit cost labor. So we'll be going over to Bloomberg with that information. And this is the point where I would recommend everyone be up to date with the stream. There is a little cogs icon on your screen, especially if you're on a laptop. If you press the cogs on the stream, on my stream where you're watching me now, I'm going to do it with Bloomberg. So I'm behind, so I demonstrate. You press the cogs, you press playback speed. If you've got YouTube Premium, you can go all the way up to 4x. If you don't, just go up to 2x, and then let that roll. It'll, even though you're live, even though you've got that red live button, press that so you get. Oh, what's happened here? Why have I just lost? Bear with me for just 1 second. I've lost one of my screens. Okay, that's unfortunate. We'll sort that out after the show. What is that? That's fine. I'll just put it here. Oh no, we're back. We are all good again. There we go. Okay, we're 1 minute away now. So let me just show you this. This is where we're going to get the report. These are the numbers we're going to look at. The main one I'm focused on is initial jobless claims. We'll also be going over towards Bloomberg for that data release. So stay with me. So the data was not released already. It's released in 1 minute and 33 seconds. Thanks all. I'm clueless, hence why I joined. Well, welcome to the family, Knocking Star. Hello, Sensei. My Sensei Kevin is back. Let me just skim through these comments. 7-Eleven exposure. Any thoughts? I don't have any thoughts on it. Thoughts on buying platinum instead of gold or silver? I prefer gold and silver, but I think all precious metals are going to do well. Jamie Reese, AMPX is flying today, up over 8%. Thoughts, opinions about Netflix? I'll be doing a research report based off all streaming providers, so keep an eye out on that if you're a newsletter subscriber. RB, great. Do I need to change my name now too, Sensei? Why do I need to? Oh, no, Casey, I meant Sensei because there's this guy called Crypto Sensei that I didn't know about, and he's just, I mean, he's lost the plot about XRP price predictions. So some people are confusing me with him. I don't think there's any KC crypto or crypto KC that's someone you don't want to be associated with. RPM, good. Got jobs report. There are none. Yes, there is. Do you have your own YouTube channel or just this one? I broadcast here and I run the newsletter. Is there a KC crypto show today? Yes, there is. KC will be live directly after Martyn. That's what we're most excited about today. KC will be live directly after Martyn. Let's go over to breaking news now. Initial jobless claims are out at 209, very close to consensus. I wouldn't imagine that will move the market. What else do we have? Continuing claims are about the same. Goods and services lower than expected. Numbers are still waiting to load here. Let's go over to Bloomberg. I don't think this will affect the market.
Initial jobless claims, they do rise to 209,000 last week, but that's still a very, very low number. Now, we should point out, you've heard a lot about layoffs the last 48 hours or so, including more today from Dow. Those won't show up as jobless claims until those people's severance runs out. So we wouldn't expect the numbers that we've heard this week to suddenly show up. But all right, here's the interesting thing. Last week's numbers were revised up from 200 to 210. So the rise to 209 is actually a decline to 209. So that's the way these things work. A couple other numbers that are out this morning. We have the non-farm productivity and unit labor costs revisions, and there's no revision, 4.9% for productivity in the third quarter and negative 1.9% for unit labor costs. But here's a number that will matter to the economy, and that is the trade balance for November. Remember, it came in at $29.2 billion, an extraordinarily low number when first reported, it reported for October. The number is for November 56.8. One of the reasons that the Atlanta Fed GDP Now number is so strong is because imports collapsed in October after so much stuff was pulled forward. And now it looks like we're getting much more of the kind of trade balance we have been getting in the past. Imports rose 5%, while exports fell 3.6%. So that will add, it will subtract basically from that GDP Now figure, and probably we're going to fall under the 5% anticipated number at this point.
So, Mike, you think, and you're indicating really, and I think this is important, that the trade numbers have kind of been skewing the GDP read that we've been getting. Can you tell us about underlying demand? What's happening just to broader consumption outside of that story?
Well, underlying demand.
Yeah, okay, as expected, a pretty muted jobs data today. It wasn't one of the big ones that we like to cover, but I thought it is worth in case there was a big skew in the numbers. What we're going to do now is go over to Martyn's analysis. If you stay where you are now, it will take you directly there. The link is pinned up above. Thank you, everyone, for all your support over the last couple of days, last week with the newsletter as well. I look forward to bringing you out the first copper report later this week, the framework today, and trading course next week, and the new app hopefully mid next week. So look forward to it all. Jump in the chat in Substack and always ask any questions, whether you want to ask me one-on-one or in the community page. We do keep you updated there. Enjoy the daily newsletters and all the other perks. Thank you for being a YouTube member. Thank you for being Discord and Electra members as well. We're going to go over to Martyn now for the full analysis. Go read today's newsletter, by the way. If you haven't read the newsletter in a while, go read today's one, because you can go to all the top stories. We're talking about war, why gold is going up. We've covered all three earnings. So there's three top stories: Meta, Microsoft, Tesla. It's literally 5-minute reads. And then the deep dive is incredibly important as well, because it's all of Jerome Powell's yesterday's FOMC report. Everything you need to know, very easily broken down. So go check out today's, and some of it's for free. So even if you don't have the premium, you can see the beginning of the newsletter. So go check it out. There is a link directly to that newsletter. And this is the link to Martyn's show is pinned above. I'll give it to you. If everyone can go over to Martyn's show and say, Sensei sent me, that would be great as well. There is Martyn's show, the second link. Go check them out. But until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.